So while recording video, you are facing this kind of perfectionism, which is created by family members, peers back in the day when you were a child, or even in your office, possibly if you are in your late 30s, or by your relatives or the place where you stayed. Then this video is for you. We will dissect properly that how the society or the parenting in terms of achieving something can affect your YouTube journey, because YouTube is completely different and this era is completely different. In the last 10 years many things have changed. So let's see and dive deep into it. Hello there, if you're new here, I'm Kunal. I'm a computer architect, but I'm in the YouTube game since 2006. I worked on my own channels, abandoned them, reworked on them, again abandoned them, again started working for someone else, and then here I am sharing my mistakes and the journey, possibly which could help you to beat those mistakes and move further in the YouTube. Let's get started. These tips are based on my analysis about myself and others I have watched over the last 15-20 years in YouTube space, and that's the reason you don't have to like take it on you. Just compare whether these are applicable to you and how you can overcome those. And the overcome is very simple. There is no magic solution. I will share it as we move forward. So the first one is parents. Back in the day, your parents awarded or rewarded perfectionism instead of effort. So this is a story, whether it is studies, whether it is sports, whether it is extracurricular activities. Like if for example, uh, I was always forced to take part in the elocution competition, wherein you speak for a subject and against the subject, and nobody understood this, that just enforcement won't work because I'm not prepared internally for public speaking. So that standing in front of the stage wherein your friends and other students are going to stand there or sit there and watch you, and whatever blunders you might commit or may commit will be made fun of later on for the entire next year, or possibly even the years until you get out of the school. So if this is the case, then you need to understand that effort is the only thing which can take you forward. By effort I mean, like, say for example, you're doing this recording right now. Even right now, while I'm speaking, I have millions of thoughts, or not if millions, thousands of thoughts coming, like fighting for the space, that people are going to laugh at you. Your accent is not proper, your English may not be proper, you need to practice it more, you need to do it more. But the problem is, the feedback is correct, but the way we have been trained to practice is incorrect. You practice in the actual field and not inside a room, or not uh, in an isolated space, correct? So for YouTube, the practice ground is the channel itself. Because when you, in terms of sports, if you think about practicing inside a room, you won't achieve anything. You have to go ahead and practice. That's the reason in Formula 1 there is a practice lap session, so that they get to know the track well enough. And still in them, like, even then, there is only one first ranker and all others are not in the ranks, or there are only first 3 which count. So still they practice and still they focus on their game. So this is what you need to do with YouTube as well. It doesn't matter, you look at me. I have a lot of complexes in within me, like my color is not proper, I may be fat, my eyes are not that good, I'm losing my hair, there are n number of things. But you cannot let them, push you down or keep you stuck in the same place. The more I delay with these conditions, for example, if they are true, the more I delay, the more worse they are going to get. So why not, before they get worse, I should make something of myself. Then even if I get worse, I'll still have, say, 100,000 or 50,000 subscribers which actually like me for the things I do or the things I share with them. So this is how you can counter this feeling of rewarded perfectionism, or when your parents or your relatives or your school, for example, rewarded perfectionism. I've also made a very specific video on schooling. They all overlap, but they are a bit in detail compared to these ones. So let's move on to the next one. This is a big one. This I have personally fought a lot with. It is embarrassing the family. Now, my father was a chartered accountant back then, and like back in the day in India, if you're a chartered accountant, even today, you are in a higher middle class family, and whatever you do other than studies is looked upon. Like, if I am good at drawing, no one used to appreciate me. Everyone used to say, how many marks did you score in maths or science? And now, because I scored less and my father had to say it, although my father did not say it to me directly that he's embarrassed, but the whole tuning or the whole upbringing is around this specific point, that if you don't score good marks, if you don't do well, if you don't do as per the society or what the colony where I used to say stay requires, you are actually embarrassing the family. And my mother was a catalyst in this. I'm not blaming my mother, please understand that this is a understanding, or this is an inference which I have gathered from therapies and all that, to come to this point that I am very sure that this has happened to me. So you just have to compare this, whether these kind of events have happened to you or not. Okay, so my mother had tuned us in such a way that no matter, even if we scored 90 out of 100 marks, it was not good enough because someone else had scored 50, sorry, 95. So this is similar to the Formula 1 analogy. If you are not first or in the first three, you're last. And when you come from an Asian parents or Indian parents, typically, because that is where I'm from, if you are third in the first three, then you should be first. Now, please understand, there's a very thin lining or a silver lining between improving yourself in the next go and demanding that you are not first, you're just third. There is a huge difference in that. When it comes from your parents, it actually hits you a lot or diminishes your thinking capability, like it did mine, because I was third just by making one or two mistakes. And that's the reason uh, I felt that all the time, and this reflects in every other part of your life, whether it's your office. When I joined my first office or the second office, these things started to affect me a lot. And that's the reason when I took the therapy, I restructured them, and I was able, like the way I'm able to dissect, maybe not that precisely, but you get the idea. So in this context, whether you're embarrassing the family, you're not going to embarrass the family by making a YouTube video. By the time someone finds your YouTube video, you may have done good things, and if not at all, it doesn't matter, because no one is going to come at your place and tell your parents that, like, you have not your son or your daughter has not scored good marks, but they are not going to tell you, come at your place and tell you that your son is making YouTube videos and he's a loser, or whatever you call in the Western language. So nobody is going to do that. For the first 100 videos, possibly nobody is even going to care what thing is. Even this video, I don't know whether it will be lost in the infinity of YouTube. So it's a very simple thing. You have to compare it with you, whether this has happened to you or not. I've just given you a few examples, but you be the judge for yourself and see if it fits. And there's no magic pill. What you can do is, even if it's embarrassing, use the enforcement rule which they used on you to make more videos, and that's it. There's nothing else. Now we'll move on to the third one. Now this is a same belief. Now these are all subsets of the same main problem. Now there was always a belief that only the best counts, which I already mentioned, that if you're not first, you're last. How could this be? If there are no 100 participants, how you could be first? You will always be the first, and there would be no meaning. You derive the meaning only when you have some kind of competition or some kind of data to corroborate with. But the problem is, in schooling, the comparison of data is different compared to what YouTube has. In YouTube does not compare the data. Of course, it compares for the analytics and when to show the video and when to not, but it still gives you a chance, still gives you the exposure. But if you take it back to your childhood or back to the norm of the society, if you do not fit in that criteria, you are thrown away. Now there are different challenges that you need to screen students or professionals who are not that good enough and all that thing. But that might be okay there or valuable there, but in terms of YouTube, that is not how it works. In terms of YouTube, you are rewarded for the watch time. And how you can increase the watch time? By at least sharing it with the people. Else how are you going to figure out whether this is going to get rewarded or not? Even in this video I'm fumbling a lot, but I think might get some views. I might help at least 10 or 5 people, or at least one person, and possibly it may work, it may not, but at least I have to show you this video for YouTube to understand the metrics. So the difference is YouTube lets you perform, and and in the timeline of that performance, it gives you it gives you bursts of exposure. But in the norm of the society, whether it's education or job or anything else, you have to perform, you have to be the ultimate, and then you are given a chance. So this is the difference. So figure out this difference for you and start making more videos on YouTube. Now we'll move on to the next one. Now if you see, there are certain disciplines which we have to follow for the better of civilization, of for the good of civilization, which is brushing your teeth, going to bed on time, changing your clothes, washing your hands, and etc etc. But those are only limited till there. And in your handwriting, for example, we'll take the handwriting analogy. The first time you wrote something was not beautiful enough. You had to practice the letters A, B, and C, all the basically all the letters. You had to practice them, correct? After a while, you got your own style. You got your own way of writing. Someone is right slanted, someone is left slanted, someone writes in between the ruled line or the in between two lines, someone writes exactly on the line, someone just scribbles. So that is how you practiced. First you practice your letters, and then you started writing in a flow. Because when you at least when we were taught English back in, I was in a convent school, so which means a missionary school, which in turn means I was in an English medium school, because in India we have vernacular mediums, which is different language in India. So I had the practice of writing those things. So if you see someone's writing from India, you like from a vernacular medium, they don't write in a flow. Like the cursive letters don't get attached to each other. They write it separately, but so close that you feel you're reading a handwriting. So that is the difference over there. But every single one of us have practiced that. It's like a form of art. Even writing is a form of art. Back then nobody told us, now we realize it. So you practice that, and then you are able to write something. Okay, there is a different now the thing is different, that someone's writing has been dirty since day one. Now it's up to you, because you're trying to make a YouTube video. Make this video with whatever you have, with whatever letters you have learned, and then in the next video, whatever you learn, implement those practices, and then in the third video do the same thing, and so on. You can go on improving, and one day you will be at the level wherein everything is improved. The videos, it will be less effort, it will be uh, less thinking, because now you don't think while writing. Earlier you had to think how A looks in cursive, how B looks in cursive, and teachers used to subtract marks or deduct marks based on how the B looks and how the D looks, like D as in delta. So understand this fact. There is nothing new to YouTube, because I always say that whatever online world has given to back to us, it has come from the offline world. It is just that it is a bit optimized and a bit streamlined. For example, back in the day, to shoot a video, there were no appliances, or like there were no cameras or nothing. They were not easily available. By that I mean, but now it's all available in your cell phone, so it's more optimized. So this is what is happening. Nothing new is being created. It is either being streamlined or getting done better with different viewpoints and perspectives. Back in the day, there were no perspectives available for the normal people, but now you have the power of internet, so use it for your benefit and start making more and more videos. Here are the things which we have seen today. The first one is, if your parents have rewarded only perfectionism, not any kind of effort, then you need to work on that. Working on that is just in plain simple words: make a video, post it, do something better in the next video, again post it. That is how YouTube works. The analogy wherein I explained, YouTube gives you exposure first and rates you later on, but in society, for you to be anywhere, you need to be rated first, and then the society gives you the chance. This is a very big thing you need to realize. Only the best counts. This belief is completely incorrect. This analogy goes to the same example of Formula 1. In Formula 1, if you are 20th in that circuit, the company does not fire you right away, correct? You still get chances to ride your vehicle or still be in the race for the next for this season at least. So please understand that not all things are going to be created the best at the very first moment. All the directors, movies, look at them, they have made shit movies first, and now they have refined their art. The problem is you don't have the patience possibly for refinement, or you are stuck inside, or you, it feels like I don't know how to explain it. I feel claustrophobic by all these things around me, and need to break that uh, chain or shackle as they call. So you need to break that chain. Do one thing at a time. And the last one which we discussed was, you might have guessed, messy videos or normal. Please understand, look at the directors, your favorite movie actors, everyone used to look like, I don't know anything. Everyone gets groomed, whether it's your face, whether it's actors, any profession, you are groomed all the time, whether it's architecture or computer science. Like if you ask me 15 years ago when I was a graduate of computer science, there are so many million things I was not able to understand, and then I started studying again, and then I started to understand with the live experience. Understand, if you would stay stuck in your university level, that you don't have enough exposure, or you have not made it enough, or the perfect thing is not done, or the perfect course you have not completed, then you won't be able to move forward. Please go through all the inventions. Repetitive Everyone has done repetitive work, and then and only then they have survived. I'm not going to give you the example of Edison because it's too cliche now, but please go through the live examples of people around you, how they have reached that point. Everyone goes through a prototyping model, which means that you do one thing, check it, then move forward. If not, then go back again, improve that thing, check it, and then move forward. This is how YouTube should be done. So I hope this video was useful. Please let me know in the comments below anything, whether it's delivery or something, and please don't waste your time by bullying me. It won't affect me. I'm just kidding. So please give your constructive feedback. Thank you for watching.